how's it going? It's Sam here from Lean Aesthetics. We are showing our very first video for our cookbook. This is a pretty awesome recipe. You guys have all been asking for it. It's a recipe for our rice cake chocolate protein puff. Kind of resembling like a Boston cream donut. That's actually one of Matt's creations. So I'm going to show you guys how to make that. Want to definitely give you an idea of why this is a good treat. It's a healthy treat, but it's also super tasty and it makes you feel like you're being bad when you're actually not. So, I mean, it's a really high complex carb, high protein treat, but it's very low in fat and low in sugar, so it would be awesome for pre and post workout, or just anytime you're really craving something kind of sweet to get rid of your cravings. So let's just talk about what we're going to need for this. Nothing out of the ordinary. First thing, of course, is we need our rice cakes. We use the caramel corn flavor because they're absolutely delicious. So just crispy mini rice cake, whatever brand. We've also got some oatmeal, so just Robin Hood quick oats. Peanut butter, we've got the all natural crunchy, but again, you can kind of use whatever you want. Egg whites, we've got cocoa powder, baking powder, some form of sweetener. We use stevia, but you can use, Splenda, whatever works, and some applesauce. We use the unsweetened kind, just because it's less sugar, obviously, but again, feel free to use whatever you want. And last but not least, thanks to Nutribolics, we've got, a wide range of products here, but what we use for this recipe is our isabolic protein matrix here. So cinnamon oatmeal flavored, one of their new flavors. It's absolutely delicious, and it tastes amazing in this recipe. So one of the reasons why we like the Nutribolics protein is it's a really clean protein, very low in carbs, very low in sugar, high in protein, 120 calories, low fat. So it's one of the, if not the best product, it's one of the best ones out there. So strongly recommend using the Nutribolics protein for that. Okay, so let's get going. So the first thing you're going to definitely want to do is preheat your oven. Preheat to 375. I like to get that out of the way first because then you're not waiting on the oven when you're looking at your delicious treat that you're about to make. So we've got our pan here and our bowl. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the 2 rice cakes out of the package, and these are going to be the base of our little chocolate puff cake that we're going to make. So we're just going to put these in the pan. There for the time being, and then what we're going to do is we're going to mix the topping together in a bowl, and afterwards it's all going to go on top of the base here. So one of the most important things that you're going to need is a weigh scale, a food scale. So obviously weighing your food is of the utmost important when you're trying to track your nutrition, and when you're counting macronutrients and things like that. So even if you're making like a little treat, you still want to keep track of everything you're doing. So we've got the weigh scale here, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take 25 grams of the quick oats. So what I like to do actually is turn on the scale and then put the bowl, so take the whole bowl and put it on here and just zero out the scale, and then you can add ingredients as they go. So keep zeroing it out each time you add a new ingredient. It just makes life easier than having to separately weigh out everything. So we're going to put in 25 grams of the oats, and I'm just going to scoop them out. Here we go, so 25 grams of oats in there, that's perfect. Then we're going to use a full container of the applesauce. Let's open, we're just going to dump that whole bad boy in there. Whoa, making a mess, no big deal. Okay, so done with that. Then we want to put in a tablespoon of peanut butter. Now, a tablespoon of the peanut butter is roughly 15 grams. So, I'm gonna zero out our scale again, because it's kind of deceiving when you say tablespoon, because for me anyway, I would take the whole spoon and just scoop the crap out of it and pretend it's a tablespoon. So you gotta be careful with that, especially if you're tracking. and you're dieting and all that stuff. So it's roughly just like the tip of the spoon, something like that. I'm gonna double check now once I get it in there. Okay, that's only 7 actually, so a little bit more. Again, you gotta be careful with peanut butter, which is why I'm being so stingy with it. Okay, there we go. That's about 15 grams, so it's not a whole lot in there, but just enough to add that delicious peanut butter flavor. And the next thing we're going to need is 100 grams of egg whites. So again, zeroing out the scale, it just makes life easier. And open up this bad boy, and let's get, oh, 0 please, 0. Bear with me here. I'll get 200. Almost there. Perfect. Alright, getting liquidy in there now. Alright, so we want 10 grams of the cocoa powder. So, again, zeroed out my scale. Oh, it smells so good. Chocolatey goodness. Okay, perfect. And baking powder. Put the protein in. Cinnamon oatmeal. So 35 grams, 1 scoop. Oh, this stuff smells amazing. Just look at that. It sparkles and everything with the sugar. Not real sugar, but it's delicious. Highly recommend it. So we got the protein in there. And then we just want a little bit of sweetener. So we're just gonna put in just like a tip of the spoon here, about that much, just to sweeten it up a bit. And now we are going to mix it around. I'm just gonna take it off the scale. Alrighty. Let's try to make this look relatively delicious. So it should be a relatively thick consistency, not so thick that you can't stir it, but not too liquidy either. So what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna turn the bowl around, is take these and we are going to just take out a spoonful at a time, holding it over, and we're gonna just lay it right in the middle. And I'm just gonna go, whoops, 1 cake by 1. Alright, so that's pretty much the finished product of having the cakes all made. Now it's time to cook them. So we've got our oven preheated already. So what we're going to do is we are going to take these delicious little babies, put them in here, and I'm going to try not to burn my face off. Slide them in there, and close that up there. Now, in terms of how long to leave them in there, we just like to keep an eye on them, usually around like 10 minutes. But I would recommend always keeping the light on the inside and just keeping an eye on them, and I'll let you know what the consistency should look like to let you know when they're done. So we're just going to wait a few minutes now and see how they come out. Okay, so it's been about 10 minutes. I set the oven on broil, just so you know, and just take these bad boys out. So this is how roughly they should look. Absolutely delicious. So right now, we're not done yet. It's really hot, so we gotta be careful. So, got a couple of things here. We've got some baking soda, some cinnamon sugar, and some more stevia. So, we're just gonna add a couple things to it. So, literally just gonna take, like, the very tip of the spoon. Okay, and then also just a little sprinkling of cinnamon sugar, just to add a little bit of flavor there, and a little tiny bit more stevia. Sprinkling for a little bit more sweetness. So, as I said, we've got it on broil. The oven's on broil. So we're just gonna put this in for another minute, just to get it to rise a little bit more. Stick it on broil. I'll leave it in there for a minute. Okay, they're done. All right. Oh, so good. Check it, check it, check it. Okay. So I'm just gonna turn the oven on. Don't want to burn the house down. Alrighty, so let's get rid of that. Alright, just some finishing touches. Never go wrong with more cinnamon sugar. And voila. There you have it, folks. The Lean Aesthetics Matthew Fox special. Your rice cake chocolate protein puffs. Definitely want to give props to Nutribolics. Cinnamon oatmeal, delicious. Yeah, man, go make them now and enjoy them. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for our next one.